You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. I want to compliment so many people that have jumped in on this, because I didn't think it would last this long, and now I don't think it's ever going away. You just keep coming up with, I don't want to do Lonely Hearts Corner here, but I just didn't know if it was like, hey, I want a job. Is it this hard? I'm in my 20s, I'm lost. Holy shit, I'm in my 40s, I'm lost. I broke up with somebody. But no, you guys are coming in with angles on this that make it great. So keep them coming in. Again, lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. Okay, our guy checking in. Shout out to Kyle. One of my friends is seeing this guy now. I've never met the dude, but he requested to follow me on Instagram. Okay, so our emailer is male. His friend is female. And she started dating a guy who the emailer's never met, but that he did a request follow on Instagram after I hung out with her and her roommate one night. I didn't know who the dude was, but I saw my two friends followed him on Insta, so I asked them who he was. This turned into a huge red flag to my friend who was seeing the dude. I think it's a little weird that he wanted to follow me without ever meeting me, but it's not that crazy, is it? So my questions are, is this a red flag? Did I mess up this dude's chances with my friend? Should I even care? She is my bro, not him. I think it's a little weird, but I don't think it's a major red flag. What about, like, does anybody ever default that maybe some guys are actually incredibly friendly? Now, it could be completely calculated. Maybe he is a crazy person. Yeah, because it is kind of like, I don't have an answer for you because I don't know the deal with it. Maybe he's just really friendly and was like, okay, fine. It seems weird. I would not do it. Major red flag means she probably just doesn't even like him that much anyway. If she really, really liked him, she would be like, oh, that's cool. He just, he'd love to meet everybody. Where the second she finds something else that turns her off about the guy, now she's just adding to that pile of stuff. And now this is in that pile. So you probably jammed him up a little bit here. I don't know if it's something he can't ever recover from. And you probably shouldn't care at all. Again, you've never met him. But the whole thing is really delicate. It's funny how you could be dating somebody, and when they like you, they could say, oh, I love that he's so independent and he goes on trips by himself, and he's so spontaneous. He'll just go to the store alone, and I don't even know that he's gone. And I love that about him, and I love that about us. And then as soon as she doesn't like you, she's like, selfish prick. Went to fucking Maui with his buddies to surf. Like, he doesn't even ask me if I want anything from the fucking store, and he comes back with like the wrong stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it could be the same thing, but it's just processed entirely different based on whether or not you're into the person or not, or you want to be. So if she really, really was into the dude, she'd get over it. I don't think there probably just wasn't enough there for her to go, all right, I want to overlook this because I'm still into him. Kyle?
I agree. A little weird. Probably not a major red flag. Don't worry.
What's the weirdest social media thing you do?
I guess I go way back. Like, let's see, you go back to 2015 on here? That's about it.
Hey, you go back and look at somebody's profile and look at their earliest posts? I don't think that's weird.
I guess. But, I mean, if you slip your thumb onto the like button, then it becomes weird. And sometimes everybody's doing that on purpose. To each other. There was a point where I was like, what? Everybody says it's weird. I'm going to go the other way, a zag, if you will. Be like, fuck it. Let's see what you say. 2017 sorority party, liked.
I love this move, and I endorse it. I think it's smart. Instead of like, hey, I got busted. Yeah, I got busted.
Just want to see what you're about. It's out there. Who's liking those pictures now? I am. Nobody else.
Yeah, but it's funny, though, how that works. It's like he went back and looked. Be like, okay, you're gorgeous, and there's 400 pictures of you. And we started talking, and now I'm going to look at a few of them. It'd be weirder for me to be like, well, I can't I can't possibly like a photo from 2019 fall. The thing that is always a little weird is the like blitzkrieg that you'll get.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're just like, okay, so, all right, you want me to notice you. You liked 400 photos in a row. Like, okay, psychopath.
It does
that
work,
one,
unfortunately. That is
does
a way
it?
to get, well, it's a way to get noticed, not in the way you're looking for, but it, like, if
Yeah,
it's
you
between
get
never
noticed.
noticing you and noticing you, that it definitely achieves the goal in some aspect.
We get a Richard Jefferson check-in. People really like that pod. I'm going to do this just because I thought it was great. I know this isn't the purpose of this email address, but I have a Richard Jefferson story. I went to undergrad at the University of Iowa, Iowa City, Iowa, 2003 to 2008. My roommate and I frequently went out to the bars on Tuesday or Wednesday night in the dead of winter. Look at you guys. And like the drunk idiots we were one night, went to a Taco Bell for some late night drunk food after the bar closed. To our surprise, Richard Jefferson, of all people, was in the line ahead of us at Taco Bell. A guy that my roommate was friends with, I swear it was not me, began talking shit about Luke Walton, Jefferson's former Arizona Wildcat teammate. We knew that here on the spot, but I appreciate you surrounding the story. I don't know why. I guess being drunk 20-year-olds is the only answer. Jefferson turned around and looked at the guy and said, "Do you play for the Lakers?" "No." "Then shut the fuck up." The whole scenario. NBA player Jefferson in Iowa City in the dead of winter back in 0405, I think sounds ridiculous, but it happened. Anyway, I will never not think of Iowa City's Ped Mall Taco Bell when I see here Richard Jefferson. What a legend. All right. There you go. I like that.
That was cool.
If the story was going to make Richard Jefferson look cool because he is cool, then that's what we're going to do. This is a good one. I like this one because it's not easy, but it makes sense. Okay. 32, touring musician. This guy's putting himself out there a bit, but I don't think he doesn't want to. So, because, if you're in that real tight music circle, he's a fellow Cape Cod to California transplant living in Oakland. Dude, I'm an island guy. All right. No need to change any details regarding the story in question. The people involved don't listen to the podcast. Okay. No offense. It's just people involved wouldn't understand a Jason Tatum reference, let alone a Vitaly Potapenko reference that makes the pod great. A couple years ago, I met a girl that lives in Nashville, but is from the San Jose area originally. We immediately hit it off, but due to my work and our distance, our relationship never solidified. She came home to the Bay Area for holidays and a few times just to see me, and I flew out to Nashville a few times to see her over the course of the 6-month relationship. But ultimately, I felt like even though I was really into her and cared about her, the distance wasn't going to work for me, and neither of us are moving, so I broke it off. We were never officially dating, and I made it a point the whole length of the relationship about my apprehension about the distance, and in the moment, it seemed like we were on the same page. When I broke it off, she didn't take it well, and we haven't spoken since. All right, so again, we were never officially dating. You never know what that means, the official part of it, because there's times you're like, wait, what? I didn't know. Was the paperwork involved? I didn't get anything. I have the wrong address. So he kept saying the whole time, apprehension about the distance, blah, 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 blah. But then he broke it off, and he hasn't talked to her since. Okay, fast forward a few months. I have a friend, John. At one point, I would regard as my best friend, who lives in Long Island, a fellow musician who was with me when I met this girl originally. Due to the nature of our relationship, we often would go a month or two without speaking, and after a few months of no word from him, I started noticing on Instagram that the two of them were hanging out in Long Island. Uh-oh. They don't live anywhere near each other, so I quickly realized the trip must have been planned. One Instagram story turned into a full weekend's worth, and then a week later, them hanging out in Nashville. Still no word from John. I bring it up to some mutual friends. They confirm my suspicions. They are now dating. It took about 3 months from when I noticed the Instagram stories, but John reached out to me to talk about it, and I didn't respond. I'm currently in a relationship and happy. Ultimately, what I'm asking here is, do I have the right to be mad, or am I the asshole? They never would have met without the connection to me. And while I decided I couldn't be in a relationship with her, I still very much cared for her. I don't think I could fully ever trust John again after a move like that. Oh, you think? Should I get over it and patch it back up with John, or do I have a point here? Thanks for the pod, and wishing you and Kyle the best. Okay, there's a few ways. I don't think you're being upset about this. You're not the asshole at all, okay? You have every right to be upset, but there's only like a certain level of upset that you should allow yourself to get to and that you're really justified in getting to. So some of it, and I'm not saying this is your ego here, because you don't sound like a crazy ego guy in the email. I don't know. But a lot of times the ego can get in your way where even if you're not with the girl, you're not bothered that you're not with her, but then you get really worked up about the idea of her with somebody else, as if like it's still like everybody else is supposed to back off the whole time, right? Some people are incredibly mature about this. Maybe mature isn't the right word, but disconnected in a way. I remember there was, just use examples. There was a girl that I dated, broke up, and I think like a week later, I was in a situation where I was with her roommate, and it was, a week later after we'd broken up, and nothing happened, but it was like heading in that direction. And then she found out about it, and she was like, well, whatever, it's not a big deal. We're broken up. And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? How are you not mad about this? We'd been dating and we're still sort of talking. And a week later, I'm at this house and it's late, and then it's kind of going in that direction. And this is, like early 20s stuff. But I couldn't believe that she was so forgiving, or not even like, she's like, well, look, whatever the technical term in her head was of like dating and not dating, that once you weren't dating, it was a total free for all. So, there's another part of it too, where you said they would have never met if it wasn't for you. Okay, I get it. I also had another situation with somebody that was very serious that I was dating, that after I'd left town, and look, I left town, I started to pursue my whole deal of whatever it was that I was trying to do. And I didn't ask the girl to come with me. And I was a prick about it most of the time. And she couldn't help herself, but like dated everybody she dated had to be somebody that like I knew. It was a guy that also was like younger than me. I think his name even was my name, and bartended at the same fucking place I bartended at. And I'm like, wait, she's dating this fucking guy now? Like, what? How did this happen? And we never talked about it. And there's no way they would have known each other if it wasn't for me being, although, whatever. If you bartend, it's not like people have to get a permit to come meet you. And then there was another guy that was kind of in the circle of friends, but not like one of my main guys. But if we were together randomly having beers, nobody would have thought it was weird. And then they got together, and I was like, okay, he never ever would have talked to this girl ever, if it wasn't for me having her around for a couple years. But I was gone, man. I was gone. And so I didn't like it, but I had to accept some level of responsibility for it. And I do remember after the fact, they were like, well, he said that you guys weren't really friends. And of course, I never let that go until years and years later. I was back up visiting, and he was like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I thought we weren't friends. And then my buddies were like, are you seriously not going to let that go? You're still that pissed about it? I was like, no, here's the point, is that if it was going to happen to me and your justification is that we weren't friends, but now we're going to be like, oh, hey, what's up? Really proud of you. Fuck off, man. Like, we're either friends or we're not. And you decided we're not. So I don't want anything to do with you. And they were like, dude, you need to grow up and relax. So I don't always handle it well. All right. I didn't back then. And I don't know that I'd be great about it now. So I kind of get that part of you. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm admitting to you that it'd be great. Like when I have other friends that are just like, whatever, dude, like I'm not with her. I don't care. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you're so detached from it all. I don't know. I'd rather do that than have this. And you're not even like, I'm kind of going down a road that I don't even think you're at right now. So here's ultimately, I think, the most important part of the email. You're happy. You're in a relationship right now. That's why Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a great movie, but it's completely unrealistic because Jason Segel's character's on an absolute tear post the TV girl. And, a lot of us don't have that option after we lose our dream girl. We don't just get to go out and hang out with any other woman that we want for the next couple weeks. That part of the movie is like, wait, so this guy's going on an absolute sex bender and he's still depressed? Like, what the hell's going on here? So that's the part of the movie where I'm like, they should have done that differently. He should have been a complete disaster by himself. Nobody wants to talk to him because most of us, when we're completely heartbroken, don't have the game. And he didn't have the game either. That was just a flaw in the movie. So you're happy. So yeah, be annoyed. And maybe he could have handled it a different way, but what's the better way of him handling it? Immediately, hey, what's up, buddy? It's John, the musician in Long Island. I'm going to start reaching out and pursuing your ex-girlfriend. I just wanted to be straight up with you. Nobody would do that. She wasn't going to do that. And if you can care about her and you can be annoyed, but you didn't want to date her and you didn't want to do a long distance deal. And it would have been cooler if she met somebody else that wasn't your buddy. And yeah, I think the relationship forever with that guy will be a little different. But, if he's into her and she's into him, then you can't really stop it, because then you look like a prick. Just be happy that you have somebody else that you've met and you've been happy with. And I would say move on from it mentally. Okay, that's the podcast for today. Please spread the word and subscribe. And also later this week, hopefully some draft stuff again. We're going to just try to do a lot of draft heavy deal. And then trying to tape with Max Homa here soon just to talk to him about his win at Riviera. And everybody being excited about it for him because he was great when he came on the podcast. He's gone on. He went on with, with Big Cat and PFT as well. So I think he's crossed over to being a popular guy. So we were happy he got that win after choking on that putt at 18. I was like, oh, man, this sucks. And he admitted he choked, or I wouldn't have said that because I don't really like that word because we throw it around a little bit too much. Okay, let's stop talking, and we'll see you Thursday.